Hey friends. Let's see, we're on day 15 of 32 days of lives. I don't like this mount that I'm using right now, and so I feel like I'm gonna squat down. So day 15 of 32 days of lives. My name is Ashley. I make glitter tumblers. And today's probably not going to be super duper long, but I'm kind of showing you like the end process of doing the water slide decal. Seriously, this mount is the worst. Like, I'm going to squat a little bit. So with water slide decal paper, the thing that's really cool about that is that you can do specialty images, things that you wouldn't be able to necessarily do with vinyl. And so I usually do like watercolor looking images. I'm going to give you a little rundown of like how I get them printed, because here's what it looks like. Here's what I've got right here today. Okay. So first of all, this is A4 paper. Sizing is A4. So the first thing you need to do is you need to change your page settings on either your Silhouette or your Cameo, and then say, put it on A4. And then I usually just kind of like Google what it is that they're looking for, because people will be like, so like this person said I wanted a watercolor peacock, watercolor owl, that sort of thing. And oh yeah, I left blank space. I do it all the time. It's whatever. I didn't have anything else to print out. So anyway, and so I found some of these online. Here's what I make sure I check: the like licensing agreement type situation going on. So you can get images for free, but you just need to make sure that you're allowed to actually use them. And a lot of the images I pay for, I'll pay for them on Etsy, or I'll pay for them on like Creative Market or Shutterstock or different places like that. I don't mind paying for them, because then somebody else will order it. So like the sea turtle I had already paid for, and so it was mine. So anyway, I'm gonna do this. So I'm doing the last part of this. I already did the Silhouette part, obviously, because I've already printed it out. But yeah, so I import all of this into my Silhouette software. That's how I print it. People get really, really confused. And so I upload it into my Silhouette software and I size it there. It's super easy for you to size it on your Silhouette software instead of somewhere else. And I mean, I'm pretty sure Cricut can do the same thing. I don't know, but I feel like it would work the exact same way. So I size it there, and then the only difference is, instead of sending it to my Silhouette, I print it. And so I make sure I put it on the best settings that I can, which is like glossy paper and best print. So here's the thing. Somebody's saying that they're having some issues because you can still see the outline. The thing is if the background of your image is not 100% white and you put it on a white background, or you put it on a light colored background, you're going to be able to see that outline every time. So you just got to make sure that the background is white. Okay, so this is going to be fairly short, mostly because I have like a bajillion glitter colors to bag up and ship stuff and all the things. So I'm going to point you down so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I also need to, let's see, oop, y'all can see I'm actually wearing jeans today, which is like a minor miracle. Let me pull up my Facebook. Sorry. All right, so here's my image. So I printed it. I've already sealed it. So I used the same sealer I showed the other day. Oh, come on. The same sealer I showed the other day on my page, and I do 3 coats of it. 2 really light, and then the last one I do pretty thick. I don't use my Silhouette to cut them. I'm just going to use scissors. I try to make things pretty even. Susan, I don't know what that is. The bleed feature, I don't know what that is. All right, and then right here I have a little thing of warm water. It's not cold, it's not hot, it's warm. And I just got glitter on that. I know, you guys, I'm wearing jeans. I had to go to the dentist today. That's the other reason why I don't really feel like 100% ready to do this. Y'all, when I tell you I hate the dentist, I mean, I hate the dentist. I left and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see that I still have some little indentions, right? Some little marks. I had curled my hands so much, or I was kind of like doing it like this, that I had dug so far into my hand. It gives me, oh, I don't like it. What goes on this one? So I use a little towel to kind of like hold it and keep it still. This is the regular one. So this is the peacock. So I'm pretty sure I sealed these enough. It's really cold outside, so y'all, this could totally flop. Just be prepared. I mean, it's not like I haven't done this before, but it's just kind of cold. So yeah, I'm just going to stick him in the water and he loosens up. Always cut it after you seal it. How do you deal with dentist anxiety? You guys, not very well. I don't deal with it very well. And so I knew it was happening today. So all day I have been horribly irritable. It's been awful. And like my anxiety flared up. Y'all, I don't like it. And I have horrible teeth. I've always been like that. Like I take care of them, but they still aren't great. And having children didn't help. It made it even worse. So I always have to get work done. So I have to go back and get 2 places fixed. So there's that. Yes, Lizzie, I print with a regular printer. I have the Office Jet. I just got this one and I am loving it. I have the Office Jet 8702, I believe. It was like $130. And I signed up for the okay, so it is loosened and I just tested it on this little corner and it peeled up, and now that I'm doing this, it's wanting to give me a little. And so this little plastic part comes away. I just try to very gently like move it. Still doesn't want to 100% do what I want it to. So we're going to do like this. Sometimes it wants to work with me and sometimes it doesn't. And so then I just take my fingers and I just smooth it out. And it's still pretty wet, and that's okay. So I always do the top part first if it's like one of those that comes over the hump like this. And then I come down to this bottom part. Sorry, you guys, my husband's cleaning the kitchen. And I can't read your comments because I'm so focused on this. Just give me just a second. And so I just kind of work with it and just slowly try to work all the wrinkles out. It's never like, especially when you're going over the hump like this, it is never 100% perfect. This is on the first coat of epoxy. I usually do it on the first coat because you can't tell if there are bumps. At least I can't anyway. Some of you may disagree with me, but I can't tell if there are bumps. Like they don't show up in the water slide decal like they do in the regular decals. All right, and so then I get some paper towels. Yeah, Shelly, my husband is amazeballs. Like, amazing. Seriously. Because I feel like I have 2 full-time jobs. I'm either doing mom stuff and I just kind of pat it at first to kind of dry the area. And I try to be gentle. But I've also worked a lot of the water out. And then I start at the center and just work it this way. That helps get even more of the wrinkles out and any bubbles, water that may be in there. Oop, come over here, you little guy. Yeah. Sorry, I got a little place right there. Didn't want to lay flat. So there we go. And so this is probably going to get 2 more coats just like normal, but I always do my water slide on the first coat. Here's why. Because a lot of times people also want a decal, and I'm so scared that I'm going to do them both at the same time and end up messing up one or the other, and I've done that before. So I do this one on the first coat so that way it can be sealed in. And then if there's any imperfections, like if a little bit of it pops up or something, then the third coat can make it smooth. But that's what you do. It's because you trace the image. You don't need to trace this. You just import the image and then send it to your printer. You don't have to trace it because it's just an image. So that one's done. I got one more. This one is turtle. All right, so I've already got it like this. And yes, I know I didn't use the whole paper, but y'all, I try not to stress out about stuff like that. Like, I'm not, it just is what it is. I'm not going to add images just because then that also uses my ink. Oh, here's the thing. And then I test it to make sure it looks okay. And then, boop, pop it in the water. Here's the thing with ink. This has been the biggest lifesaver for me, okay? Sorry, my pants are, y'all, I never wear jeans, and so, like, they keep falling down. My leggings always stay where they're supposed to. Anyway, what was I going to say? Ink. I bought this Office Jet 8702 at Walmart. I think it was $137, which to me was very reasonable. I was very happy to pay that. It's huge. It does all the things. Like, it's wonderful. And I signed up because it's one of the newer printers. I was able to sign up for HP Instant Ink. And so it keeps track of my, of how many things I print and how, like, when my ink is low, and they send me new ink. It's like, I spend like $10 a month. It's way cheaper than buying your ink when you need it. So highly suggest you do that. Michaela, if they want their name in vinyl, I do that on the second coat of epoxy. So then there's a layer of epoxy between them. I've messed up my water slide before when I've been trying to get vinyl on, and vice versa. Like, I thought I had gotten all the water off the tumbler and I hadn't, so the vinyl was messing up and it wasn't sticking. All of those things have happened, and so I just do them separately. So I always put water slide on the first coat of epoxy, vinyl goes on the second. Jessica, yeah, mine did too. I got my ink forever ago, and I'm like, my ink is not even close to running out. Like, I just printed these on the ink that I got the first time. So, okay. All right, and so I can kind of tell it's ready. There we go. And so this is how I normally try to do it. The peacock was not wanting to cooperate with me. As I try to hold it like this and just slip this paper out. Boom. This one doesn't require as much finagling as the other one did. That one was a booger. All right, Beth, to find the water slide that I use, or you mean like to buy, if you want a tumbler with water slide, you would probably want to order either a solid color white or an ombre with white on top, because it needs to go on white. to really show up to its full potential. If you want to buy water slide paper, it's under Ashley's Amazon favorites on my website. And so I'm just trying to move all the wrinkles out and going from the center out to get the water out. And then there you go. It's so easy. I love it. I mean, it's got its own challenges too, just like vinyl can do, but I just always think it's super cute. All right, let's see. All right, so when to use white versus clear. This is very obviously clear, clear water slide. So you need clear water slide if you are doing it on a white or extremely light colored background. White is only is going to be used for pretty much everything else. And so you wouldn't be able to do these watercolor images with a white water slide. It's not going to give you the same effect. It's not going to give you the same effect. So clear on white or super light colors, white on everything else. Could they rip up getting the water out? I've never had that happen, you guys, and I'm not super easy. I just make sure that I pat it, and then, y'all, I'm like holding it. I've like had to get my nail in there to like try to get things out, and I've never had mine rip. So, let's see. I am wearing jeans today. I'm even wearing like fancy shoes. Fancy for me means that they're not like Bob's or Tom's. That's what I usually wear. Oh, Kendall, I'm so glad. All right, let's see. Any other water slide questions? You can put water slide on top of black glitter if you do white water slide. Jamie, I do buy all of my images, but I only buy them as I need them. So I don't just go through and buy a bunch of things, because y'all, sometimes people ask for stuff and I'm like, what? Or I would have never thought to purchase that, or lots of other things. So I let them tell me, and then I find one. How much time does it take to get your ink? Susan, you get your ink when you're starting to run low. I would guess half, because I got mine, and oh, once it dries, it's almost impossible to get this off. Like it really adheres there. Once it's dry, it's not like I'm kind of rubbing it right now. Oop, yeah, and I got it to move because it's still a little wet. But yeah, don't do what I did. But when it's actually dry, it's not going to move around. It's not going to do that. And so epoxy will not mess it up. Is there any sticky? No, it's just wet. It's not sticky. Maybe if it dried, even though like I've messed with it when it's dried and it wasn't sticky. Let's see. How often do you reuse the images for other cups? I have used this one probably about 5 times. I've got another owl sitting over here. It'll be time 2, and I purchased the peacock today. So it's not very often, but this is somebody's work, and so I try to make sure I support them, because otherwise it's stealing if I just were to take their stuff and not pay them for their image. So not very often, because honestly, I don't get a whole lot of these orders. I don't get a lot of water slide, and I'm cool with that. Michaela, I just use, these are like PNG files or JPEG files. That works. Darlene, if you're doing white water slide, I would cut it with your silhouette. Lorraine, I have an Office Jet 8702. Why seal before you cut? If you don't, All right, first of all, you have to seal or otherwise the ink will run when you put it in the water. So that's why you seal it first. You seal it first before you cut it, because if you were to seal, like if I was to seal the image after I had cut it, it would seal these edges, and then the water slide part would not release from the paper backing. So that's why you seal first, then cut, if that makes sense. Leslie, how long do I let it dry? Actually, this one's pretty good right now. I would feel comfortable epoxying this now. I probably do this way sooner than most normal people do, but I'm like checking it for bubbles, and I'm not seeing anything, and it's dry. This is good for me. The peacock one, I'd probably let it dry a little bit longer. Let's see. No, actually, it's looking great. Here's the peacock one if you missed it. Everything's laid down. I don't have any gaping open parts. That sounded really odd. Y'all. Anyway, I don't have any like gaping parts where like the decal paper didn't want to sit here. So it's all down. I'd actually probably, I'm going to epoxy these tonight. Fran, I've never baked a water slide onto a mug. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't do it super hot, because you could scorch the water slide paper. I don't really know why you'd need to bake it, because it's supposed to, you know, adhere to the tumbler. Y'all, I keep rubbing it because I just love it so much. And yes, I seal it with the 2X spray. The same spray I use, same sealer I use for all of the stuff. Tess said she uses a silicone makeup brush. I know lots of people use those to apply epoxy too, but she does that to get all the water out. So that's another option if you feel like you need it. I just use a paper towel and kind of squish it down, and then slowly rub moving from the inside out, kind of work that water out. Terry, I haven't used Silly Winks. I do most of my glitter stuff like that with a stencil. I'm not opposed to trying it. I even have some. I just haven't done it. Water slide images, I Google them. Seriously, I just Google it, and then if I find one I like, I make sure I can purchase it. I click the link, like it says go to the website. That's all I do. I click the website, and then it's like, here, you can purchase this for $5, which is about average. $5 to $8 is average. For gold, you're going to want white water slide. The only time you're going to use clear is on white or a super, super light color. And even then, it's going to discolor it. So if I were to put this on a yellow tumbler, this peacock would look green. It's going to make it discolored. I don't charge more. I don't. I know lots of people do. I like to keep my prices firm, so it's just easy to give them an easy answer. Margarita, if you are doing water slide, don't be like me. I wasted a sheet for 3. You can use this whole sheet. Just put other images on there that you may want to use, and you could always put them on a tumbler and then sell them during a live sale. Oh, Shauna, that'd be great. I haven't done a picture, like, you mean like actual pictures with water slide? I haven't. Mostly because I don't get people who ask me, I have people who ask me, can I put pictures on there? And I say yes. And then for whatever reason, they don't end up ordering, which is fine. So I haven't had to do that yet. But if it's on a white tumbler, I'd use clear water slide or white water slide. It depends on what they'd ask, but yeah. I already showed it, but let me go ahead and cut this out. Here's the owl. So it'll sit like that. It's actually on a skinny. And then these are the 2 I just did. Boom. How many coats of sealer? I do 3 coats, 2 really thin coats, and the last one I do a pretty thick coat. When I import a file, it's usually a JPEG or a PNG file. If I need if I need to cut it, it would need to be an SVG file. But since I don't need to cut these, then JPEG or PNG is fine. This is just water slide paper. It is on my website, the exact kind I used. And you guys, I have tried several different kinds. This is the only kind I have liked. Blingasm is another one that's out there. I didn't like it. It wouldn't release from the backing. I had lots of issues, but there are other people out there that love it. So all right, Shauna's a little smarter than me. PNG file type is higher definition, so that would be probably what you want to go with. How much is to put a picture of someone on a glass? Well, I don't do glasses. On a tumbler, the price is going to depend on the size that you get. Heather, I have an Office Jet 8702. Shauna said she's going to put that on the website, so it'll be there tomorrow. All right. Go ahead and move you up. Boop. Oh, sorry, super close. Any other questions? Y'all, this is not my favorite, let's stay. This is not my favorite foam mount. Michelle, I don't remember the name, the brand. It's just red. The package is red. That sounds horrible. It doesn't have a name that Blingasm is one that's easy to remember. Yeah. And so now I can't remember the other one, but it is on my website. Beth, if you ordered the owl and that's not what you want, because you're the only one that's ordered an owl. So if that's yours and you have something you want different, you can send me an email. If you have a specific owl that you want, you can send me an email. Was that you? Where are you? Beth, yes. So you're the only one that's ordered the owl, so that would be yours. So if it's not something you're in love with, then just send me an email and I'll find you another one. How long do I wait between coats of sealer? Like 10 minutes. Y'all, I did this. I got these images ready. Maybe about 45 minutes before we did this. Yeah, because I had to go to the dentist and that's about all I thought about all day because it's not a great experience for me. Y'all, I have a bump. I never get bumps. I have a bump because of the anxiety of stupid dentist. So, and I get to go back in a month, so that's crazy fun. So anyway, any other questions about water slides so I can answer these? Patricia, if you do white water slide and you're putting it on a colored cup, it would need to be an image that like you can cut around. I'm going to use this example only because we watched the movie today and so it's fresh in my brain. The Toy Story logo, I'm not saying do that because it's copyrighted, but Toy Story logo, okay? It goes around the outside very clearly. So it would need to be cut on your silhouette around the outside with your silhouette. Yes, Angela, I always leave all of my videos up. All of them are up. They're under the videos tab. You can go back for months, like, because I started doing lives with a great frequency back in April, I think. May, maybe. And so you can go all the way back and you can do it. Unless something crazy were to happen on a live, that's the only way I'd delete it. So, all right, anything else? Heather, I used the Rust-Oleum 2X acrylic sealer. I just posted a picture of it earlier. Excuse me. Sarah, I don't use white water slide. Instead of doing white water slide, I do printable vinyl every time. That's what I always do. I use white water slide and printable vinyl because that's just my preference, but I know lots of people do white water slide and love it. Love it. Jasmine, you would either need an SVG file or if you can trace around the image to get the outline, because I've done that before if I couldn't find an SVG file, but I purchased the file or the picture that I needed. You can cut around it. You just have to trace it first. Oh, Sarah, I just did a tutorial in the group this month on how to strip a tumbler. I don't know what was happening to me while I was filming that tutorial, but I made some weird comments like throughout the whole thing. But yes, it's not fun, and y'all, I hate stripping them. A lot of times I'll just throw them away. I know that's horrible, but like I just don't like it. It's a pain. Lorraine, I prefer silhouette all the way. Silhouette. I will probably never get a Cricut. I love the silhouette. If they come out with a 4, I'll probably get that. Sarah, I have mica powder. I have it. I haven't used it yet. I bought it probably about a year ago. I'm one of those people, I have grand plans to do things and try things, but a lot of times my orders get in the way, and I'm very thankful for that, but I don't get a lot of experimentation time, if you know what I mean. Oh, Brandy, I'm so glad they're helpful for you. Joyce, thank you. Printable vinyl, y'all, I use the Cricut brand. I use the Cricut brand printable vinyl. Mostly because I can get it. I feel like that's a dirty secret. Like, I use the Cricut one. I don't use any other Cricut or Silhouette products like for vinyl. That's the only one. I like it. It's not very thick. The Silhouette printable vinyl will not go through my printer because it's so thick. And the Cricut one will. It's very thin, and I like the way it feels. It prints really well. Cuts great. I like it. So, do I seal printable vinyl? I do not. Oh, Kitty, thank you. You're always so sweet. Thank you. Martha, great question. With Disney picture requests, how do you purchase those? Here's the answer that you're probably not going to like, is legally, you can't. You can't purchase those. People who sell Disney images for you to purchase, they're still not selling them legally. There's like 99.9% they're not selling them legally, because to have a Disney license to be able to sell their products, I believe they and the NFL or like the professional sports teams, leagues, you have to have like 3 years worth of tax returns where you've made a substantial amount of money. And last I heard it was $100,000 for the year, like as a profit. And then you have to pay for the crafter's fee to do that. And so the answer is you can't do that. You don't, I mean, you can, and if you choose to do that, like, I'm certainly not going to judge you. It's your business. You can do it however you want to. But this is what I tell people, because I had somebody the other day ask for like the Florida Gators gator head in white, and she wanted some other stuff on the tumbler too. I said, well, I'm really happy to, because she's already purchased from me before. It's like, I'm happy to do, all of that you said. I said, the only thing I can't do is the gator head because it's copyrighted and it's illegal for me to do it. And a lot of people just don't know that. And so that's how I word it. And they are always understanding. They still purchase. They just usually put their name on it. So just saying. Sorry, I feel like somebody else in the group asked that today, and I told her the same answer. She's like, you are not giving me the answer I want. I was like, I know, I'm really sorry. All right. Do I have a laser printer? I do, but I don't use it. I have an inkjet printer. I don't do laser. So if you do have a laser printer, you need to make sure you get the laser water slide paper. I have linked on my website under Ashley's Amazon favorites, the inkjet printer, because that's what most people have. So just be aware of that if you have a laser one. And from what I understand, I don't think you have to seal if you have a laser printer. Possibly. You'd have to read the directions on that one. Angie, how do I get so many people to watch my lives? Okay, so you have to think too. I have 24,000 people that are on this page and only 222 who are watching. So what, is that 1% that watch, that are watching live? Is that 10? Y'all, I can't math. Math is hard. The more people you have, the more people on your page, the more people who are going to watch your lives. The more people you have on your page, the more people who are going to purchase from you. It's just math. It's just math. How do I know how to price my cups? So here's what I did. I kind of calculated how much all of the different things cost to make the cup, not including the cup itself, to make the cup. And then I factor in, so I have that kind of separately. And then I factor in the, Shauna, thank you. Lord have mercy. Then I factor in the price of the cup. And so that way, no matter what tumbler I get, I'm able to come up with a price. So, and then I factor in the time it takes. So it usually takes me 1 to 2 hours total, total time where I'm like legitimately touching the tumbler, because the turners spin without my assistant, so I don't count that time while it's spinning. And so I just try to make sure that I get paid for my time. So Shannon, I put the water slide on the cup, how many minutes ago was that? 30 minutes ago, and I'm gonna epoxy them tonight. Oh, sublimation printer. I don't know. I don't know, because from what I understand, understood that ink is totally different. So I don't know that it would work the same. Angie, I have a video on here on how to grow your Facebook following. I posted it the other day. But if you're in the inner circle, you need to go to the library that she has in the creatorsinnercircle.com. There's a Facebook 101 video. I think there's a second Facebook video. You need to make sure you watch those, because literally, Angie, seriously, like all I do is everything she tells me to. If she tells me to do something, I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. I'll do it. And so that's just the way I do. It's nothing special. It's just do what she tells me to. Heather, what is better, a business page or a group? My opinion is a page. Here's why: it's easily accessible to anybody. Anybody can come find you. They can scroll through to see what you make, what you're all about, what things you're interested in, what you stand for. A group, you have to request to join. People by nature are lazy. And so if it's not something they're like, oh, heck yeah, they're not going to join. And also pages are more easily searchable. You can also run ads for pages, and you can't do that for groups. And so there are pros and cons to both, but I don't feel like for a place where you're trying to sell something that you should do a group. Personal opinion again. Yeah, so Shauna, so I think not very many people actually watch the Facebook Live while I'm actually live. More people are going to watch you after you're live. So don't freak out. Like, y'all, at the beginning, I swear I had 3 people who watched my first live. My mom, my sister, and one of the moms from our Girl Scout troop. 3. That's it. And so this is a big difference, but it doesn't happen overnight. I've been working at it. Let's see, we're in the middle of January, and I started really working at it back in April. Like, I had a Facebook page this whole time, but I didn't work at it. And so I really started, so we're coming up on a year, but it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You have to keep working at it. I said this the other day, and I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face. Every single person has enthusiasm at the beginning of a business, at the beginning of any type of venture, whether you're running a business, dieting, doing anything, exercising more, whatever you're doing, everybody's enthusiastic at the beginning, but not everybody has endurance. You need to be the person that has endurance, that can keep going. Because those people, if you're that person, you're going to be successful. And the people who get easily frustrated are going to quit and they're not going to be successful. I don't want you to get easily frustrated. So what I was getting at, Shauna's point, is that my lives typically get between 10 to 20% of my following watch lives. That is a huge conversion, 10 to 20%. That doesn't sound like very much, but it's actually pretty high, because only about 6%, I think, will actually see my posts. So think about that. Up to 20% are seeing my lives. That's why I tell you to go live, because more people see it. People share them more, and they talk more because they're talking to you. Oop. Oh, I went live on my thing, so I can't see that. Oh, Tabitha, I am so proud of you. Lives are hard, you guys. Lives are hard. Facebook lives are hard. I'm not gonna lie, they're hard. They're hard at the beginning. Y'all, sometimes they're still hard for me, especially while I'm doing this. I'm gonna be honest, this 32 days of lives, it's tiring, it's hard, it takes a lot of work, and you just have to be consistent and do it anyway. So how long do I wait after I seal it? 30 minutes, maybe. I did these about 45 minutes before I went live. So, Angie, I try to make my lives at least go 20 minutes, but I have a bad habit of not ending when I say I'm going to. So mine go longer, but 20 minutes is the minimum you want to do for you to reach your maximum live potential of your numbers. Facebook likes that. Brooke, the Inner Circle is run by Jennifer Allwood, and that's my business coach, and she is not open right now. Her group isn't open. It's not going to open until April, I think is what she said. So you can get on her wait list if you go to Jennifer Allwood and look for the Inner Circle. There's probably a wait list there. I'm sure there is. And so you can sign up to get on that. And when it opens back up, I'll also be talking about it. Son of a biscuit. What is happening? Anyway, when it opens back up, I will probably be talking about it to tell people about it, because I think it's been amazing. But oh, Sarah, that's funny. Sarah's trying to pause my video because she normally catches me after I'm live. Let's see. Brianne, if you go to the videos tab on this page right here, it's going to be a few videos down. It wasn't that long ago, maybe day 12. I'm not 100% sure. Joyce, if that's not the truth, it is like the family goodbye. You keep talking and talking and talking, and you never actually leave. That's my problem. I know, Shauna, I was thinking about that when I was typing in. I was like, tomorrow is halfway. And I sang it like that too, because it deserved it. How many cups do you average on a month? It depends on the month, honestly. And when you make a product, your months do this. It's very common. January is always a slow month because people just had Christmas. February, March, April are always higher months because people are getting their income tax checks. And October, November, December are also really high months. Summer months are very slow because people have kids out of school. And so they're putting their kids in camps, and they're going on vacations, and they're doing all the things with their kids. They're not worried about buying tumblers. So that's not true. I still sell stuff, don't get me wrong, but it's not as high as February, March, April, October, November, December. Those are the good months. September's also usually pretty good. August is not great because kids are going back to school, and moms are like, holy moly, get out of my house. And so we're trying to do all the things school related, getting backpacks and school clothes and all the things. So yeah. Those are the best months. So January is a little slow. It's always slow for all the things. People are recouping from Christmas. and the craziness that was that. So, Shay, I did water slide decal paper on here earlier. So when I get off of this, you can go back and watch it. It was pretty short. Corey, I don't open monthly. I don't know what the special word for that would be, but I will open 4 times a year. 2 large launches like I'm doing right now and 2 small launches to the wait list. So the next big launch won't be until like maybe August. Not 100% sure. I don't want to do July because again, people are on vacations. So I'm not sure 100% on that. It'll be a little while. All right, friends, I am done and I'm going to go bag up glitter and I do a bunch of other things, but as always, I'm honored that you come and show up and hang out with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Susie, quarterly. I will open quarterly. Thank you. Words are hard. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.